Welcome to Ed Fluential Sports, where passion meets precision. As I'm your host, Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. And in this video, it's a fantasy booking of how I'll book AJ Styles' final run in WWE since he's retiring in 2026. AJ Styles is my favorite wrestler of all time, so I expect a lot of AJ Styles content next year, at least until October, which is when I'm fantasy booking him to retire. And I think his last match and last feud needs to be in TNA, but it's going to start with WWE. And then some of the key things that happened throughout his final year. Braun Breaker, he defeats CM Punk on the New Year's Raw to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Drew McIntyre defeats Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble to finally become WWE Champion once again. The Elimination Chamber uh, is no longer the matches, specifically the Elimination Chamber matches. And the pay per view is not just a number one contender sting, it's actual matches, actual championship matches being defended inside Elimination Chamber again. There's Carmelo Hayes defeats Ilya Dragunov for the U.S. title at Elimination Chamber. So those are just some of the key things that's going to happen throughout this retirement tour or final run for AJ. It don't got to be necessarily a retirement tour, but now to put the focus on AJ and what I would do for AJ Styles, obviously they teased the stuff with him and Gunther. So January 5th, the Phenomenal Dragons, AJ, Dragon Lee, defend the titles against the Usos. They lose to the Usos due to Gunther interfering and the ref not seeing it. So that following week, January 12th Raw, Gunther attacks Dragon Lee backstage and puts him out of action for a while. Now AJ doesn't have a tag team partner. And Gunther's whole story is making AJ's career hell. They want to make Gunther the new legend killer, but there's a different way you can get him more heat if that's what the goal is with Gunther instead of making him the legend killer. Because when Randy Orton was the legend killer, his whole purpose was I'm the I'm the young guy. I haven't won a world title yet. I want to prove I'm world championship material. Gunther is a two-time world champion and held the IC title for the longest reign in the 21st century and one of the longest, if not longest, reign of all time. So January 17th, that's gonna be TNA Genesis, their first pay-per-view of the year. I would just play an AJ Styles video package at the end of the show, dropping a hint that he'll be competing in TNA this year. You just don't know when he'll officially come back and start competing there. Now January 19th Raw, you have a segment at the hospital with AJ Styles checking on Dragon Lee because a lot of times how WWE break up tag teams and don't acknowledge their history. When Dragon Lee gets taken out, still acknowledge their history. Have AJ Styles check on Dragon Lee, and then have AJ while doing that segment challenge Gunther to a match the next week, and Gunther accepts, but Adam Pearce steps in and makes the match even bigger. Whoever loses the match has to start the Royal Rumble, and um, the winner will be placed somewhere between 20 to 25, and Adam Pearce make that decision, but the loser has to start the Royal Rumble. So on January 26th, Raw have AJ Styles defeat Gunther, and it's not the end of their feud because it's going to continue for a little minute heading into WrestleMania. And then AJ Styles, like I said, he defeats Gunther. Gunther has to start the Royal Rumble, and Gunther ends up winning the Royal Rumble with 6 eliminations, with his final elimination being AJ Styles. So now you have, and then like I said, Drew McIntyre is going to beat Cody for the WWE Championship in February. Now we move on to February. February 2nd Raw. Gunther cuts a promo. He's getting ready to make his announcement whether he'll face Braun Breaker or Drew McIntyre. Then AJ Styles interrupts and he wants another match with Gunther because Gunther couldn't beat him one on one. And he claims that he only got lucky due to it being in the Royal Rumble. So the next week, AJ Styles has a match versus Ludwig Kaiser. Forget the El Grande character. I'm not mentioning that. But have AJ and Ludwig Kaiser have a match and let Kaiser go over. Gunther went. Gunther interfere, or he don't even got to interfere. He can cause a distraction, build up Kaiser to become a mid card champion, hopefully, or the AAA champion if he still is doing the El Grande character. And then February 16th, episode of Raw, have Gunther backstage and reveals that he wants to face Drew McIntyre since they do have history dating back to a few years ago at WrestleMania 39. Obviously in a triple threat, but that was one of the best, probably Gunther's best match of his career. And then Adam Pearce has to step in after AJ Styles attacked Drew McIntyre. And then the announcement is made: if AJ Styles versus Gunther at Elimination Chamber. If Gunther if Gunther wins, AJ Styles can't compete at WrestleMania. But if AJ Styles wins, he's added to the match at WrestleMania, making it a triple threat to main event night two. So that's going to be the story. Gunther could potentially kill the path of AJ's path to WrestleMania in his final year wrestling. He would have been with WWE for 11 years at this point. So wait, because he did no 10 years, 10 years because he debuted in 2016. So it'll be 10 years. So Gunther wins. AJ Styles won't compete at WrestleMania in his final year wrestling. If AJ wins, he's added to the world title match for the WWE Championship. February 23rd, you have AJ Styles reunite with Finn Balor to take on Gunther and Kaiser, and AJ and Finn Balor get the win in that tag team match. I'm assuming the Judgment Day stuff will be finished by then, or at least getting wrapped up. And I could see Finn Balor being a face because with JD McDonough being injured right now, I don't know what direction they're planning to go in. So then AJ Styles have him reunite with Finn Balor for the one-time thing. February 26th, that's an episode of Impact. That's a Thursday. This is the second AJ Styles video package that's going to play to end the show, dropping another hint of his return in his final year wrestling. And then due to AJ Styles winning that match with Finn Balor in the tag team match, he got to choose a stipulation, making it a no disqualifications match. So and then Gunther ends up defeating AJ Styles. The heat Gunther would get would be massive. AJ Styles won't be able to compete at WrestleMania his final year due to the story, which that all leads to him competing at TNA's two biggest events of the year. Because I think, but yeah, that's the perfect way to get Gunther heat. Because Gunther doesn't need to retire AJ Styles with them having a match. Gunther, he retired Goldberg. He retired Cena. Don't make him the legend killer because that gimmick worked for Randy because he wasn't a world champion at that point. You could have him be the reason that AJ Styles can't compete at WrestleMania his final year. Him defeating Goldberg, nobody really cared because people didn't like Goldberg. Cena was loved by everybody during his final few years, so that pissed off people, and people are still upset about it. But I've moved on. If he defeats AJ and prevents him from competing at WrestleMania, the he would be even bigger, and he would be the heel going into the match with him and Drew. Even though it's heel versus heel, I think it could work with Gunther and Drew since they have history. So then, March 2nd, AJ Styles cuts the emotional promo due to the fact that he's going to miss WrestleMania. No appearance to Raw after that. March 13th is TNA Sacrifice, or at least that's what I'm projecting. AJ Styles makes a special appearance. That's when he finally pops up in TNA, and he talks about the partnership with WWE and TNA and how he doesn't like what's going on and how he wants to make change. And then March 23rd, AJ Styles appears on Raw once again, and he decides to take a leave of absence due to personal reasons. And due to personal reasons, which those personal reasons won't be revealed, but essentially it's him trying to put a plan together so TNA can take over by the end of the year. So then you get to April 19th, and by this time, Gunther would have moved to SmackDown because SmackDown needs more star power. Like it's just a Drew and Cody in the main event now. Like you have Drew take it off of Cody. I'm sure you can find a few baby faces for him to feud with, and then you can do a heel versus heel match with Gunther and Drew would have Gunther get the win to become WWE champion, and then April 24th SmackDown, AJ Styles returns and he says he has a lot planned for the next 6 months and that he plans on making it special. Then April 30th on Impact, AJ Styles announces his last match that it's going to take place in TNA at Bound for Glory, their biggest event of the year, and it's going to be versus Leon Slater on October 18th. The opponent's already picked out. This is a guy he's already endorsed. He's had a match with a guy that WWE seems to love. WWE in this partnership with TNA has used Leon Slater a lot. So I think, and he's the youngest X Division champion, AJ was the first X Division champion. It's going to be the perfect way for him to go out. So it's still plenty of time left before we get to that. But he's going to make the announcement, and it's going to be, and if he's going to announce it ahead of time so everybody already knows what's going to take place, his final match. And then May 1st, SmackDown, AJ Styles, Randy, they get into it. Randy doesn't think that AJ is fully committed to his WWE contract. And then the next week, AJ Styles has a match with Tama Tonga, gets the win, shows that he can still go. Obviously, after losing the last time he was in WWE, getting the win in his return match, Randy Orton defeats Sami Zayn just because I don't like Sami Zayn. So, May 15th, SmackDown have AJ defending TNA, not as a way of turning heel, but just that he's representing his roots and where he came from. And he challenges Randy to a match at Backlash. Then May 21st, Impact. Randy Orton shows up to Impact unexpectedly, and AJ Styles is there talking with the Hardy Boys. And Santino forces Randy and AJ into a tag team match together versus the Hardys. And the Hardy Boys end up getting a win, leading to AJ Styles and Randy Orton brawling after that. May 23rd, you get that's I'm assuming that's when Backlash should be for the last time ever. You get AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. AJ Styles gets the win there. May 29th, SmackDown. AJ Styles wants to win a championship in his final year. We just seen John Cena do it. He wants to go out that same way, winning the championship, taking on the top champion. And like I said earlier, Carmelo Hayes beat Ilya at Elimination Chamber. So Melo comes out and he makes it known that I'm the best champion here. Segment is short. They have a stare down and they shake hands. This will be a face versus face feud. And in the Randy feud, Randy is the heel, of course. AJ gonna be facing his final year. And then on June 4th, Impact, AJ Styles talks about how he gives Melo high praise, but he's in that title reign soon, and that's when Mr. Iguana makes a surprise appearance, as he wants to be part of the match, and they're trying to build a triple threat for Worlds Collide, featuring TNA, WWE, and AAA. So June 11th on Impact, AJ Styles defeats Mr. Iguana, and Carmelo Hayes defeats Myra Reed in a one-on-one match, non-title. Then at TNA Against All Odds, you get a contract signing between AJ Styles, Carmelo Hayes, and Mr. Iguana. Then on June 13th, which is Worlds Collide, and this is all projection. Most of this isn't confirmed. I'm just projecting when the dates will be. You have Carmelo Hayes defeat Mr. Iguana and AJ Styles to retain the United States Championship. And then that SmackDown, June 19th, Carmelo, he didn't like that he had to do this in a triple threat, and he pinned Mr. Iguana. He wants to go one-on-one with AJ Styles. It's a dream match of his. And he gives him the match for next week, and he agrees to it. So then have June 26th, and Melo takes on AJ for the U.S. Championship. And Melo wins clean. That chapter is closed now. And Melo continues his run as United States Champion. You get to July 2nd. And Gunther is trash talking to AJ backstage. Talks about how he can't win, rarely winning matches. He lost to him. He lost to the Hardy Boys. He lost to Melo the last two matches. And Gunther just bashes him for his struggles. And AJ was like, he wants a Gunther. He wants the WWE Championship. He's feeling AJ is like, I have your number already, so I can easily beat you. And Gunther's Then Gunther and AJ make an agreement that Gunther gets to pick AJ Styles' next three opponents. If AJ can win all three matches, he'll get his championship match at SummerSlam. In July 9th, AJ Styles beats Omos, one of his former tag team partners, in a match. July 17th, SmackDown, AJ defeats a returning Dragon Lee, another former tag team partner. And then July 19th, with his TNA Slammiversary, Gunther is a special guest referee for AJ's match against Shinsuke Nakamura. If I'm not mistaken, Shinsuke's never wrestled in TNA, so Shinsuke and AJ running it back one final time in a TNA ring would be special to see. And then Gunther could be the special guest referee, try to play a factor, but AJ overcomes the adversity and still wins the match. July 24th, promo segment between AJ Styles and Gunther. And AJ is making it clear that he's going to defeat Gunther to become WWE champion one final time. July 31st, SmackDown, you had a contract signing between them two. Then August 1st, on night one, I have AJ and Gunther fight night one. And then Gunther will retain the WWE Championship versus AJ Styles. Because at the end of the day, it still got to come down to TNA and WWE having something between the main roster. So even though AJ is gonna lose in these championship matches, one is gonna be a triple threat where he don't get pinned, and this is gonna have the story concludes on him at Gunther because it isn't really finished. So it's gonna start the year. AJ is gonna do some other stuff for a few months, then circle back to Gunther and try to defeat him for the WWE Championship, and ultimately he ends up losing. But Gunther won't be the one that retires him. He'll just be the one that defeated AJ in his last SummerSlam match, preventing him from going to WrestleMania. So now that we're past that, August 13th, Impact. TNA is still going through hell. AJ Styles wants change. As we've seen, Ariana Grace just turned on Santino. It probably won't last all the way till August, but anything could be happening by August. And AJ wants the 6-on-6 at Emergence for brand supremacy. And then August 14th on that SmackDown, AJ Styles and Drew, they both draft their teams for Emergence the next week. And this is coming kind of fast because Emergence and SummerSlam happened in the same month, so some of this has to be a little rushed. But Team TNA, AJ Styles drafts Leon Slater, Steve Macklin, Eric Young, and Moose, and Michin, who Michin, her feud with Jay to be done, but I think she will still be face. And seeing AJ team with Michin one final time since they were part of the OC, I think that'll be cool to see. Then Drew McIntyre, he drafts the New Day. Chris Jericho, another former partner of AJ. Angelo Dawkins, who might be on his own because we don't know what Montez Ford is doing. And B-Fab, so we see a heel B-Fab back with Angelo Dawkins for this match. And then on August 20th, AJ Styles and Drew have a match. This is just a warm-up match for Emergence, but it ends in a no contest due to both teams getting involved in the match. And this is the only match in AJ's final run that's going to end in a no contest. Everything else is going to be clean, or it might be due to interference, but this don't be no contest. August 21st, Emergence, TNA Emergence. Team TNA versus Team WWE, the main event of the show. AJ Styles and Leon Slater and the New Day are the last four left. AJ Styles and Leon Slater end up getting the win for Team TNA. And that's how it ends. Team TNA is on top. Maybe Team TNA can even win a championship. Maybe TNA can even win a championship at Emergence, a main roster title. Somebody could win the U.S. title. So, so we'll see what happens with that. And then we move into September, and this is AJ Styles is going to end his career with his last appearance on WWE is going to be September 6th. Money in the Bank. AJ Styles and Leon Slater had a contract signing for their match. That's going to happen in a month. September 10th, Impact, AJ Styles and Leon Slater team up to take on the Great Hands, get the win. It's basic. It's going to be, I mean, they can easily coexist. It's two faces, and then they just warming up, get ready for their match. September 17th, AJ Styles is on commentary as Leon Slater has a match with Rich Swann and ends up winning. It's going to be an old feud revisited because I think Leon and Rich Swann might be doing something soon for the X Division title. I could definitely see that coming up, but I think that's something you could revisit down the line and have AJ on commentary for it. September 24th, the roles are reversed. Leon's on Impact. Leon Slater on commentary as AJ Styles takes on Moose for what I think will be the first time ever because I don't think they crossed over. And so Moose and AJ Styles, that will main event at Impact. AJ gets the win. It'll be a really good match. Then October 1st, the hit last four dates. October 1st, Impact Dragon Lee returns. Well, he not returns, but he shows up on Impact and he wants one final tag team match with AJ Styles. October 8th, the Phenomenal Dragons reunite to take on the returning Motor City Machine Guns and they get the win. October 15th, you had a final on Impact. the final promo between AJ Styles and Leon Slater before their match. October 18th, TNA Bound for Glory, Leon Slater, AJ Styles, one-on-one. No interference, no special guest reps or none of that. No special guest commentary. Just straight up one-on-one. Leon Slater goes over, becomes a much bigger star. He goes right after Leon Slater wins. He's already been endorsed by AJ, but they shake hands. They embrace each other post match. Leon Slater heads into the world title scene right after that because I think he's going to be X Division champion at least until February. He's going to be X Division champion for a bit. So I think once he beats AJ and retires him, that's when you move him into the main event scene. But that's how I would book AJ Styles' final run. I would have him feud with Gunther since it's already being built. Randy Orton one final time. Carmelo Hayes and Mr. Iguana in like a triple threat scenario. The New Day, Drew McIntyre, Chris Jericho, Angelo Dawkins, and B-Fab, and the team TNA versus WWE for TNA Emergence, and Leon Slater and AJ will end his final year 12-9-1, 12 wins, 9 losses, one draw, working with both WWE and TNA. I think that's the perfect way for AJ to go out. At least that's how I would book it. That's how I want to see AJ go out, or something similar along the path of this. But yeah, it's already. This video went kind of long. I wanted it to be 20 minutes, but it's fine. But yeah, shout out to AJ Styles, my favorite wrestler of all time, hanging up the boots in 2026. Hopefully, his last match is at Bound for Glory. I prefer that than his last match be at any WWE event. I think it just makes the most sense for his career. But yeah, with that being said, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share for others to see. And yeah, wish me a happy birthday too. I'm 19 now.